to speak today not going to be any different than whatever topics that we have actually discussed in the past about hypnosis, mindfulness, perhaps CBTs and all the stuff, because end of the day, we're going to talk about mind. And if you see over and over again, we talk about the connectivity and the harmonization between your conscious and the subconscious mind. In another word, we call it as aligning your mind, your soul, and your body. That's important. So if an individual have understood how they can actually align it, all these three components, they can actually achieve a level of awareness, and they can pave their path to whatever that they want. So if you talk about NLP nothing much than a set of tools that actually help and guide you to go through this process. You can say that NLP is an extension of hypnosis and also cognitive behavioral therapy. It all branched out, and people have actually make it simplify it, so you can actually do it in your daily life. Psychologically, I think we learn about 80% of our life in our first 3 to 6 years. And we are who we are today because of what has been actually programmed in that very beginning, in that first 3 to 6 years, into our subconscious mind. It can be the good, the bad, and the ugly. So whatever that has been programmed. So in a nutshell, you are who you are today, and you are where you are today because of what has been actually programmed and put inside your mind. And the entire body actually works towards that programming. Hypnosis, cognitive behavioral, and also NLP actually gives an opportunity for you to go and rewrite anything that you don't like about what has been actually programmed inside you. It's actually easier said than done. I think Dr. Mohammed knows this very well, the challenges and the type of people that he faces and sees in his daily work. Such as like, and also in every individual personal life, like such as like, have you tried to quit smoking, losing the external, the excess baggage that you have, especially during the lockdown period, and some of the other habits. It's actually easier said than done. So I know that a lot of people actually struggles, and even they achieve certain results, they fall back to what or who they were before. Very quickly. And if you notice that this kind of subconscious mind that has been actually programmed many years ago when you're small has been protected by these 5 senses, or it is actually called conscious mind, or very well known in a term called a critical faculty. So whenever we are doing this kind of exercises, hypnosis, CBT, or NLP, what we say is like we are bypassing this critical faculty of somebody to go into their brain, and then we rewrite to whatever desired result that they actually wanted. So I think this is like pretty much, so using the 5 senses to bypass the critical faculty to understand, influence, and also get information. Get information is like, for example, like a past life regressions, or if some people have actually forgotten something due to a trauma, the ability for them to recall their past in this life, and also rewriting something. So if you say that you have challenges in stop smoking. Maybe that has been actually embedded in you like very strongly in your brain. So it's an opportunity for you to be taken through a journey where the critical faculty has been bypassed and reprogrammed that, and then you can actually start a new direction. Saying that, despite fixing this kind of like traumas, phobias, and I think very well known, this is also called as psychosomatic disorders. NLP particularly can be actually used for your personal development, personal and career development. How we can actually do that? So what I'm going to do is, like, instead of giving a very lengthy background, I may want to give you some quite glimpse and example of some of the techniques or tools, so-called in NLP, that you can actually use to make these changes. So it is a very simple technique to make some positive behavioral changes in yourself. In common word, we call it as a mindset shift. So this NLP teaches these very simple behavioral changes. You can also see this in hypnosis. You can also see this in cognitive behavior. It is about the ability for you to first understand who you are, where you are now, and where you want to go. And also a set of positive behaviors that you can actually model. NLP is like pretty much on you modeling some positive behaviors if you wanted to achieve certain positive result. That's the thing. That's in the nutshell. For example, one of the first things that you can actually do if you have actually moved in and say, okay, I wanted to change myself now. Okay, maybe I want to be more healthier, more fitter. I want to have a better career. One of the first things that you can actually do is to change unwanted behaviors. Your ability to identify and acknowledge self-limiting thoughts and patterns that's stopping you from taking actions. For example, how we can do this? There are simple techniques, very common. One of the things that we say is that, like, you say, like, you own your happiness and you own your emotions. End of the day, if you're in a traffic jam and you are queuing up and suddenly you saw another car comes and cut you in front of you, and you really get angry sometimes, right? You know, sometimes people show middle fingers and all the stuff, you know, like you get very emotional. You should stop and ask yourself at that very moment, who is in control of your emotion? Is it you, or is it the driver that in front in that car? So those kind of awareness that you need to take. So if you see in a daily life, your emotions and happiness can be actually controlled by many people. It can be your parents, your colleagues, your spouse, your children. One of the most important things is for you to own your happiness. The second thing is challenge your own story. This is the most common one because people always tell the story what they think they believe in. That means, like, you know, I can never be fitter. I can never be healthy. I never can get that job or promotion. I cannot be successful in life, or I cannot be rich. But the core point is who is the director and the script writer of your story? It's you. So you own the script. Sorry. You own your script and you start writing your story. So every day that when you wake up in the morning, you rewrite it. You don't beat yourself up bad, but you always start with a very positive note, saying that I'm very positive, I'm energetic, I'm capable of doing things, or these are the things that I can actually achieve. We will see that in one of the slides that we're going to see later on. The other one is enjoying this journey. A lot of us delay our happiness. And we always say that, okay, when I get to this level, then I will be happy. When I get a degree, then I'll be happy. When I get married, I'll be happy. When I get kids, I'll be happy. But the truth is, with the human nature, we always wanted something new and something more. So what is more important is for you to enjoy each and every steps in your journey, and you compliment yourself and also reward yourself for each and every steps in your life. One of the most important things, and always been neglected, is we call it as I call it as me time. It's put yourself in the calendar because you, I need attention too. So if you don't see yourself as valuable, you don't spend time for yourself, nobody else wanted to spend time for yourself. So it's very important. Look at your 24 hours and see, do you have your own time without your family, without your spouse, without your friends, being yourself alone? Because this is one of the most important aspects for mindfulness and also for reflections. Making relationship count, and I believe everybody realized that during the MCO and the lockdown, one of the key stress reliever for us is our closest family members. And those people who have been actually staying alone are the ones that who have actually suffered a lot during this MCO period. So it's very important that you take time to reach out and get connected to your relationship, your parents, your family members, and whoever that surround yourself, because this is going to be a very good lifeline to help for you in you changing to a better behavior. Last but not least, balance work and play, very important. You need to have a balance in everything that you do. Yes, in everything that you do, you need to work, you need to play, and you need to have time for everything, because you shouldn't neglect one thing for the others, which is very important. There's been a survey that has been actually done for the people who has been in their bed, so those people who are about to die, and the question has been asked, like, what was your biggest regret? And some of the regrets that I can actually read you, they said, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Another one is like, I wish I didn't work so hard. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. And I wish that I had let myself be more happier. So this is like pretty much in a nutshell of NLP. Some little behavioral changes. I think I will actually stop here to see if we have any questions.
All right. Thank you, Thava. Thank you for the brief introduction to NLP. Well, I think I will open up to a question from Francis or Felicia, or if anyone that actually have question who can write in our chat or in the Facebook. So maybe Francis, you got anything to ask Thava?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Thava, for your lessons just now. We're very interesting. So basically, yours will be more simplified into daily application, just like more than just the affirmation, right? Because the intervention of our habits is so critical. Every day we are programmed in such a way that if you don't program our mind, somebody else will program our mind. The phones and the computer are planned in such a way that they fit you nicely. So how would you advise on the simple so-called self hypnosis or so-called self feeding, so that we can so-called intervene the mind space? The mind space is actually taken already by something else. So how do we fill it up with the proper thing effectively into the minds?
Yeah, okay. A very good question. Thank you for asking that, Francis. So if you see NLP and hypnosis, NLP actually gives you an opportunity for you to try to change your behavior on yourself, on your own, by applying some tools. Like you mentioned about affirmation. Affirmation actually comes as one of the key aspects within the NLP. And for those that whoever cannot change by themselves, that is where then we will go to the hypnosis. We need somebody else to help. There are some techniques. End of the day, it's actually mindfulness, being aware of who you are, because NLP actually teaches you that. Trying to understand yourself, what type of person you are, and what are the trigger. So that means, like, if I get angry, why do I get angry? The reason that I get angry. So you should be able to identify all those stuff. So understand yourself is like a gap analysis, and after that you come up with your own plan and say that, okay, these are the things that I want to change. And if you see, pretty much it is called rituals, changing habits. That means, like, if I want to be successful, if I want to be very good in my career, if I want to be very fit and healthy, I don't sleep at 2 a.m. and wake up at 11 a.m. Then keep telling myself that I'm going to be healthy. It will never work. I put up a plan. I wake up at 5 o'clock and I say, the first 20 minutes, this is what I'm going to do. The second 20 minutes, this is what I'm going to do. So the first thing, the NLP helps you with the mind, but you need to have discipline for your body and soul. So that is where the fitness coach comes in, right? And the fitness coach actually gives you a plan and say, this is the plan, then you follow. So NLP alone, by just, I know some people actually came and asked me that I'm very obese. Can you just hypnotize me that I reduce weight? I don't want to stop eating. There's no magic, right?
Okay, good. Yeah.
I think whatever that we do is also a combination of a lot of things, a combination of mind, soul, and body. So I think this thing will have to come together.
It will be interesting. You can come up with short courses like that, so that we can hypnotize ourselves to get the techniques right. So that then teachers, you how to identify, your trigger things. There must be a way of so-called to checklist things, so that we identify, then only we can change, right?
Correct.
Awareness before change, yeah.
Correct. Like, okay, I'll just tell you a very quick 2-minute story. Do you know? I think, Francis, I think we are all in the era where when our parents put the food on our plate, our parents says that you have to finish everything on a plate. Right? I get smacking if I have left. I know my father, like, really smack me if I have left any food on my plate. Do you know one of the main reasons for obesity in Malaysia or in Asia Pacific is because of this ruling? And I call this as programming. By generation, I think we are also, like, sometimes tell our kids, you have to finish everything that on your plate. But without understanding the reason why we are saying that.
Yeah.
Right? But we force, and we do that. And one of the main reasons of obesity for people over here is that's the problem, because they go to the nasi kandar, they take a plate, they take the fried chicken, they take the sotong, they take the rendang, they fill it up. They say, okay, I remember my mama and my papa said that I need to finish everything on my plate. I'll finish it. You know where they started? During World War II, during the Japanese occupation, it is actually very hard to get food. And the man of the family, he needs to actually go out to find food. And I think that time, what we can actually get is only ubi kayu.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And when the father goes out to look for the ubi kayu, he never knows whether he can actually come back alive. And if he made it through and came back alive to the house, he will put the ubi kayu on the plate. And he told the kids, we don't know when next we're gonna have a food on our plate. So please finish everything on your plate, because the next meal that the proper meal that they may get might be 1 or 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So we forgot the story. We took the programming, and we are programming that for generation to generation to generation. And we have successfully, with this programming, override the natural body mechanism that actually tell us to stop eating.
Yeah.
right? And then we keep eating and eating. One of the first thing that we do for people who wants to lose their weight is to enable the natural stopping and say like whenever you feel full, you stop eating. And just by doing that, you can become slimmer because the body knows what's good for you and it actually tells you when to stop.
Yeah. Somehow it's interconnected.
If I may add, Francis Thava,
Yes.
this is what we call at a very young age, we already develop what we call the scarcity mentality. So because of this, for survival and for the difficulties that we are facing, we always believe that we are actually not have enough. So that's why now when we see things that come in front of us, we try to collect as much as possible. And about eating, obviously, when you start collecting everything, you have to finish it. So that is what we call, the term is scarcity mentality. I think, but now we can see the younger generation, they even waste a lot of food. We can see when they go into restaurant and whatnot, they don't have that anymore because they don't have any experience of being scarce at home, not having things at home, because we tend to provide a lot now for them. So that is another problem whereby we need to also change that programming now for the younger generation. So it is all about the programming that we have got. So to unlearn the program and to relearn a new program, or to unlearn a behavior and to relearn a new behavior, or things of that nature are not easy, obviously. But as I said, it must have what we call the internal motivation. Each and every one of us must want that change for ourselves, because we cannot force others to change. So if we want that change, it will happen very well. But if we don't want that change, as I said, or most of the time is that nobody will change unless they is the one who wants the change themselves. So I think that is very important for us to take note. Okay, so that's my input with regard to what is going on right now.
And I think Dr. Mohammed, yeah, sorry, go ahead, Felicia.
Yeah, I think it's really good to get your input. Like for those who just joined, perhaps I just recap. I think the six, things or six very good. Just to summarize, number one is to own your happiness. I think on top of the scarcity, like what Prof Muhammad said and Mr Thava mentioned, finish all your food. We because of our programming from early on, and then because of course in the World War II, and in that era where food is such there's the demand of a lack of food supply, so hence we cherish whatever we have because we don't know when's our next meal. But now on top of those things, we are also programmed by happiness is relied upon the material stuff. Not only the young generation, not only now has something given everything to us, probably is also programmed by social media and the media influence of how a body should look like. So we tend to treat food as a reward. I think nowadays, when children get good results, birthday, it could be anniversary, it could be getting good grades, right? We are rewarded by desserts, cakes, something sweet. And on top of that, we are having all these influences of how a body should look like, and we lost that kind of, like, we rely our happiness from what's being portrayed in the social media. So that's also another added pressure, added stress. And number two, challenge your own story. I think that's really good. And enjoy the journey, do not delay. We tend to like rush for it. We only rush our destination, but we must need to learn how to smell the roses right along the way. And putting yourself in the calendar, this one I resonate with it a lot. Having that me time, self-care, self-love is not selfish. If you cannot love yourself or you don't value yourself, how can you expect somebody to see your value, right? And making relationship count, definitely during the whole lockdown. Support your network of friends, even though you cannot meet with each other. So I can resonate because I live in KL now, away from my family. So it's a lot of connection via the technology, but while we have high tech, we do need the high touch as well. So sometimes a phone call, sometimes just that question, how are you doing, and just checking in on each other. Those are things that we took for granted, and I feel that in hindsight, this pandemic will make us a little bit more appreciative of what we have, and what no man is an island, so we need each other, right? And number 6, balance of work and play. And I like how what Mr. Thava mentioned just now. Many people express that they wish, what if, they wish, they can relax a little bit, or they can express themselves a little bit instead of just work. They just, people forget to have fun, back to that, enjoying your journey and do not delay your happiness. So maybe in that sense, we're putting yourself in the calendar, me time. I can share as a fitness and a nutrition coach for the past 11 years. I think a lot of us are caught up, even if we are just, for us, teaching people, educating people constantly on how to take care of themselves. We forget to take care of ourselves as well, because we end up working from, like, I start my day at 6 a.m. in the morning, I finish my work at 8 or 9 p.m. And yeah, sometimes we tell people to do things but we are not even doing it ourselves. So that is actually a very normal thing, because that's one of the job occupation hazard, right? And also the very modern day lifestyle, I added stress, and we don't have time to do our things. So the whole COVID-19 or pandemic has slowed the whole world down, or putting on pause, so that we actually put in sort of a importance of what we should be doing every single day. So practice mindfulness, I think meditation, and yeah, rituals, I think is very, very important. You cannot be like you said just now, you cannot be sleeping at 2 a.m. in the morning and waking up 11 a.m. That's not what a successful person, or a person with an sort of like, to grow further in life, I don't think we can function that way, unless you are one in a million, right? So I feel that all these are actually part and a parcel of us rediscovering ourselves. Not we don't need to find ourselves anymore. We just need to ask questions. When we are mindful, we ask questions about ourselves, and we work on it, and how we can I think now it's just how do we sort of look back into ourselves. Maybe I can ask some tips, like how in your position, like maybe you're working towards more of a corporate kind of world, and NLP, maybe you can talk a bit about your experience, maybe working with individuals, or in a corporate environment, how you help people to put themselves into that calendar, having that me time. What is the rituals that is a healthy ritual, or maybe we say having a good sleep hygiene, having a good timing on the little things, because it's the little habits that create long-term results. Yeah, maybe Mr. Thava, you can enlighten us on that.
Okay, Felicia and Thava, I have to excuse myself now because I got a visitor.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I leave first, right? And then I will just relook at the recording later. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
sure.
you so much.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Speaking to you, Dr. Mohammed.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you. Okay, see you.
Okay, see you.
Okay, putting the me time. If you look at me, I've been in the IT environment for the last 25 years, and one of the very stressful work, like many other work. And if I'm gonna keep up, bring it back and hold it on every day, the stress gonna really build up, and it's gonna affect my health and life. One of the things that you should be able to do is your ability for you to switch off. I have worked in a very big MNC companies supporting their IT systems, which has been the backbone of the entire organization. Like Dr. Mohammed say, currently I'm also with another oil and gas company right now working, and the job is definitely stressful, because whenever the IT has been actually impacted, the impact to the business is humongous. So if the IT system going to be down for about an hour or two, there's going to be a financial loss of about maybe 2 million euros, 2 billion euros. So those kind of stress, and end of the day, it actually comes to your shoulder for being an IT guy, all the while, you know, making sure that the service comes up. It's same like, just say that our Wi-Fi is actually down, either Cellcom or Maxis or Time, we get really frustrated, and you know, like the amount of things that we couldn't do because of the IT infrastructure is down is humongous. And those kind of stress is very strong. I think one of the most important things for you, the ability for you to switch off. That means whenever you come back home or whenever you stop working, you completely switch off and become a different person. They're going to help you in your personal life. They're going to help you also in your family, because you don't bring that stress to your spouse or your kids or your family members. I know it's easier said, but we need to practice. And for me, my me time in the calendar is every day from 5 to 7 or 5 to 8. I'll wake up, and that's the time that I actually read some books. I look at podcasts, I look at some videos, I look at some of the gurus, or I sit and plan and say, okay, what am I going to do for the next 2 weeks? What am I going to do for the next 2 years? And if I want to be there in my next 2 years, what are the things that I need to do? Because one of the most important things is for you to have a vision and a hope in front for you to keep moving. You need to have a direction. Just want to point out, just now Dr. Mohammed talked about self-motivation. Self-motivation is the most important thing. Everybody must understand, motivation is not us attending a motivation talk.
Yes.
Right? Motivation is like taking shower. You need to do it every day, and you need to do it by yourself. Because there are people who can actually go for Anthony Robbins' workshop, and then they come back and they say, yeah, okay, I attended about 20, 30 trainings. I read about 25 books, but my life doesn't change. The book or the seminar doesn't change. But they must understand the book or the seminar will not change their life. They have to change. They have to get up with whatever they might be very resourceful because they've learned a lot, but they have to put it in practice. I can say that 80% of the people out there, you go and talk about personal development, disciplines, and fitness, they can talk for hours, but they don't practice, right? Everybody knows what's healthy. Everybody knows that Coke is not healthy, and you need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. Everybody knows that, but how many people follow? Yeah.
How people are doing it, right? How many people are actually doing it? So you were saying about on the you know, like motivation, okay, internal motivation, or that Prof. Mohammed was also saying earlier on, like, so if let's say a person is asking this question, like, I do not know if I'm motivated, I mean, or maybe I don't have that drive, you know, what are the things that I can maybe start to question myself or be mindful about to create that internal motivation?
Usually, when we come to this kind of topic, I will ask the person, what's your passion? If they cannot reply within the next 3 seconds, they have serious problem. So they need to go now, take a paper and ask themselves, nothing else, not your goal, your ambition, or whatever, what's your passion? Because if you don't have the passion, nothing that drives you towards. You need to identify your passion. Then from the passion, that's where you come up to what are the things that you can actually do. And that's what actually creates the motivation.
Okay, that's
so the two things that I usually ask, what's your passion? What's the last book that you read? That's not related to your job. Right? And most people, like, they don't learn and get new knowledge, because that is also important. Because as long as you don't learn anything new, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is called insanity.
Insanity. Yeah.
Albert Einstein has said that. So how much that you are changing yourself in order for you to reach? Because some people say, okay, I want to have a startup. I want to be very successful. I want to be a millionaire, you know, be very wealthy, which is completely, absolutely okay, which is very good. You need money, that is important. But what are you doing differently for you to achieve that?
Yeah, that's why people are can be working for that many years and they do not really like, or they to the point where actually they hate what they're doing, but they still do it because, you know, and people get burnt out and, you know, people get stressed up from that. And also, like, another question would be quite relevant as well. It's like people are frustrated they don't get the results that they want, maybe in terms of career, relationship, their fitness goals, right? So they end up sabotaging, you know, self-sabotage. So how would, you know, NLP, or how would being mindful, or what are the routine or rituals that a person can do to be aware of their you know, so-called self-sabotage kind of actions, and how do they actually reverse them? Like, they know by not eating their main meal, they feel hungry, and they end up probably, you know, eating like other food that, you know, gives them that comfort, maybe cookies, maybe cakes, right? And then they like, oh, okay, I need to do it all over again. I'm a failure, you know. So we tell ourselves a lot of all these very unsupportive kind of you know, not so helpful affirmations, right? So how do we overcome this self-sabotage actions or thinking?
That's why I say change or challenge your own story, right? I think Dr. Mohammed would be the right person to answer this question because it's like very much on mindfulness.
Yeah.
You get disappointed if you have expectations. So I think from a mindfulness perspective, you don't build up any expectations, right? And whenever you get a results without an expectation, that is a victory, right? When you already have built up expectations and you don't get what you want, that is where the disappointment actually comes in. Saying that, in NLP, there's also presuppositions. There's like some framework. They say failure is the feedback. That means whenever you didn't get the results that what you want, that means you are not doing what you're supposed to do. So you need to just go and look back, reflect, and reposition yourself, slightly do it differently until you get the results. That's why you need to engage coaches, because these people have been trained. These people are there. They're not talking to make money, right? You know, but they are there because they, by understanding each individual, they will have each individual different plan. Because achieving this life results, you cannot just obtain it for a certain level by just reading books.
Yeah.
It's like playing music instruments. I cannot play piano, violin just by reading books. I need to go to a teacher, practical, and teach. So you need to find a right coach to coach in the area. You can be very good at something. Okay, maybe I'm very good at NLP, but for my fitness, I still engage a fitness coach because he knows the best. And he can actually give a customized plan for me. I can just Google in the website, there's thousands of plans, but that plan doesn't fit. So that's why you need to really go and engage the right people.
All right, that's good. So anything from your side, Coach Francis?
Yeah, I think yeah, we have been discussing about, you know, these habits, nutrition habits intervention. Sometimes we find that a lot of the thing is also linked to the psychology part. So I just wonder, Mr. Thava, you have any so-called session with any people come to you on obesity problem, you know, or some weight loss problem, you know? So how NLP can actually helps to speed up the intervention. Because basically, when we found that when your body is depleted and also deficient of nutrition, then the dysfunction was setting. The physiology dysfunction, one of the very clear-cut one is actually mood swing. And then the mood swing, and then will change your eating habits. Then on the so-called the stress, you know, the emotional stress. So they take it on the food to get comfort. So once you put it on, but then again, there are also many other factors in their own esteem level, you know, in correcting their stories. So I think those area, I think once we rule out all the nutrition optimization, and then they still go on to sabotaging themselves, or they are not consistent in following what they're supposed to do, that's where I believe the programming is important. Do you have anything like that to if any of this type of situation we feel that they need that particular part, you know? Because once we do, you know, when we give the same nutrition, the same coaching, but some get very quick result. We have the 4 weeks, okay, the 4 weeks result, where you can see very clearly, get the result. 8 weeks, your friends will observe it very clearly. 12 weeks, everybody wants to know your story. That is the kind of speed we are talking about. But some work and some didn't work, you know. So it's very difficult to, you know, to force them. We don't actually force them. We inspire them by story, by testimony. So that's why we call a group of so-called wellness socialization. So we put them into the group and they can see, you know, why the successful people are, what they are doing. They share their testimony, what they do. And I think that is about people who wanted to, you know, listen to the story. But some very clear cut that they have a so-called a psychological hang-up or some missing link there. So we find that, you know, I've heard of NLP for many years already. But I'm really, then we little bit here and there. So I think people like professional people like you guys, I think that will be a very good so-called section to fit in, you see. So if you have something like that, then we will not work together with you guys, and they will be very helpful to a lot of people out there.
Yeah, definitely. Because day in, day out, one of the highest from the clients, the highest composition of the clients who actually comes in is because they want to go to sleep. And you see these two different results is because how they have been actually programmed. These are the people that, you know, even they are listening to the inspiring story of the others, they're like, this guy must be lying. Maybe this guy is taking drugs. You know, they have their mind that comes and always say, oh, cannot be one, cannot be. This is called your conscious mind.
That's limiting thoughts, huh? Limiting thoughts.
Limiting thoughts. So what we do, because as long as this is there, the message doesn't go to your subconscious mind.
Okay.
Only when it actually goes to your subconscious mind, the action happens. So for this kind of people, we use hypnosis, hypnotize them, pass by the logical brain. Okay. We go and program the brain inside and come out. Okay, because the brain, how the brain works, we make a decision using our prefrontal cortex. The decision is actually made in the first 3 seconds whenever the problem comes. The remaining time, we actually looking for evidence to validate the decision. That means the fitness coach have already given me a plan and I have to go to gym today. 3 o'clock, yeah, lazy, I don't want to go, I want to go see friends. So you build up justification to justify why you cannot go. Until at 5 p.m. you call your coach, hey coach, I'm not feeling well, I'm not coming. What we do in hypnosis, we remove that block. No matter what happened, we program him to go and show up in the gym. So once he's already in the gym, the fitness coach will actually take care of it. I think most of the time the challenges the fitness coach have is like people not turning up.
Yeah, cancellation, and postpone and things like that. Yeah. Mm. So I think I think in this case we can learn from the golfers, right? Rain or shine or whatever, they will still be there at the golf course.
On
I think
time,
maybe we should interview the golfers as well.
No, you will be on time also, rain or shine. If not, they won't play with you in the next round.
Yeah.
So that is the kind of so-called punishment.
Commitment as well. I mean that there is that you have that reward and punishment as well. Yeah.
End of the day, it's how much they want it, right?
True.
Yep.
Yeah.
We want to get them to really want it. That I think the programming can help, because as you say, the imprinting after the 6 years old is already very fixed. So so that particular part actually the trauma will carry on without you knowing it. So once we identify this issue, we should tell them the right thing to do, right? Then we should channel them into proper so-called intervention.
Correct. Like the example I told you, like they will finish everything their plate, right? They ignore the body's message telling that you should stop eating now. So those are one of the things also that usually the therapist does in the hypnosis. So tell them when to stop eating. Most important thing that you have to also change your physical habits outside for you to change inside yourself.
Correct. Normally the hypnosis part, how many sessions at least they have to come do it? How many sessions?
That's very depends on the individuals and what they want to achieve. That
yeah, I see. That one need to be face to face, right? Can go online.
To be face to face. Cannot be over the phone or Zoom.
Yeah.
Can it be over the video call?
I'm afraid not.
I see.
No, it has to be. It has to happen face to face.
Yeah, makes sense. So because there are a lot of concentration involved, focus involved to get them into the so-called subconscious level.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So
Yeah.
you are basically.
Yeah, so we have about 5 minutes left. So yeah, let's wrap it up and see how we want to summarize the whole session, and maybe a bit of message from Mr. Thava on how we can move forward in terms of what do we need to do to move forward. We got about a couple of months, 5 months left to 2020. So what are the things that we can look forward in terms of like the challenges ahead in all areas of our life, and how we can actually, what are the simple steps we can actually do to grow and move forward.
I know Francis and Felicia have been talking a lot about affirmation.
Yes.
I will share 6 things in the next 2 minutes. It's gonna just take about 2 minutes of the time. Let me share that.
All right.
Very quick for us to wrap this up. Because I kind of anticipated that I get this question. Okay, I think what's important for whatever they come in next, very fast, I think what we need to do is empower ourselves. Empower ourselves is a connotation that everybody uses frequently, but nobody knows the real meaning, right? What is empower ourselves? There's 6 things. 1, the person with empowerment, or we call it as charisma, they are the people with very high energy. The way that they walk, the way that they talk, they put their head up with the chest broader, and they walk in certain speed. So if you want to change your life, change your lifestyle, try to become very high energy. It also helps you in metabolism, increase your metabolism for you to lose your weight. Your appearance outside is very important. The way how you dress and when you go out is actually very important. As much as what's the appearance outside, the appearance inside is also very important. There's 2 things that matters here. Whatever that you put over here and whatever that you put over here, your mouth and your thoughts are the one that are going to shape you next. So make sure you control whatever that you eat and control all the thoughts. Make sure that it's positive. Being well spoken, doesn't mean that you have to be grammatically correct and speak Oxford English, as long as we can actually pass through the message, open up the ability for you to articulate and express. Positive affirmation. Every morning, wake up, Google some positive affirmation and read it. You cannot find anything else. This is the one thing. You stand up in the mirror, look at yourself and say, every day, in every way, I'm getting better.
Yep.
That's for me to kind of...
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. Great, thank you so much for the 1, 2, 3, 4 tips. That's actually very good. I just summarize it. To empower yourself, basically we need to, you know, basically change our mind, change ourselves, like be the change you want to see in the world, right?
Correct. Walk faster a bit. You know,
Yeah.
like
High energy, raise up your voice.
Yes, correct.
Your appearance, you know, working on the outside, the inside. Maybe in the next, you know, coming Saturday, we can talk about how to work on, you know, for us, we can talk about how to work on the outside. Maybe in terms of like from Prof. Muhammad and also from Mr. Thava, you can talk about how to work on the inside. You know, because the outside is also actually a very big reflection of what's inside, right? You can be so positive in terms of your words outside, but if you are feeling not so positive inside, it actually shows, and you don't manifest. When you manifest, you get what you want. You know, it's just the law of attraction, right? And being well spoken, we are being just messengers and getting the word across. Be every communication or every message that we give out, it's inspiring, it's helping another person. It could be being a good listener, but the key is that to be able to pass the message, you know, and hopefully in a positive way, definitely, right? And yeah, positive affirmation, I've also been doing that. Actually, during the MCO, it has helped me a lot. So I've restarted a 90 days journey. So today is like my day 24 as well. So I do give the first 2 hours to myself. Like that's the me time. I totally agree with you on that. And I know we have all these gurus like Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. club. We have all these, you know, we have all these enough stories of like how successful people start their day. You know, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, you know, all these people. So it's just picking up, mirroring, you know, your so-called respected leaders and the ones that you want to, you know, follow and emulate. And yeah, and then you just do it. You put it in action. You know, it's not just saying it, but you know, doing it. So yeah, I think these are really, really good tips from Mr. Thava. It's a very good summary. Thank you so much for, you know, being on this call. And this will be recorded. I will upload it on the YouTube so we can actually share this to our friends. And this is only made possible because it's a collaboration under PRKPP, which is the education NGO. That also includes our site, Coach Francis and myself, under Fit Unit, to work on helping people to develop good relationship with food and fitness and their body. And with you know, Prof. Muhammad to educate on the mindfulness part and also like to work on the inside. So we are very happy to have you tonight as one of our you know, as our speaker and also as our panel. So I think we will have a more things to talk about in the coming weeks. So we also have actually medical doctor like Dr. Siva, but he's not on the call tonight. So yeah, so when we get all these expertise, I think we create awareness, we create education. I think our passion lies in just helping and empowering each other, not like really teaching others. I think when we exchanging ideas, now we have 3, 4 ideas, you know, and because we give an apple, you have an apple, we only have 1 apple each. But everyone give us 1 idea, everybody here will walk with 4 new ideas. And today we have so much of, you know, from the 6 things that you have given us and the 4, so we have like 10 good points today. So very, very grateful to have you tonight. And so we will be on the call next week, Saturday, same time, 9 p.m. and then we hope to invite more people, and this will be on our Facebook and also on YouTube. So do stay tuned on our upcoming announcement and yeah.
Definitely. Thanks once again, Felicia and Francis, for having me here. And giving
Most
me-
welcome.
Yeah, and I'll be very happy out of whatever that I have shared. If people who've been listening have just taken 1 or 2 points and start following it, making some changes, I think they're going to be tremendous. And well done, you guys, for doing a wonderful job by putting this together.
Yep, thank you so much, and let's
you
keep in
so much.
touch off the Zoom call, and then let's see how we can collaborate further.
All right.
All right, thank you so
Good
much.
night. Thank you
Good
so
night,
much.
everybody.
Thank you.
Stay
Francis.
safe. Yep. Stay safe.
Yeah, thanks.
Good night.